here we go again. Hello everyone, it's me again. Sorry. Lately I've somehow accumulated an obscene amount of new books, so I have to tell you about them and put them on the shelves, that they stop staring at me and making me feel guilty for the money I spent on them. I don't regret it. Please, don't stare at me, books. I love you. Okay, let's start with The Spy Family, Volume 2 and 3. I bought it because I absolutely fell in love with the first one, and now I need all the sequels in the world for this, and also all the money in the world for buying the sequels. Please send help. It was so fun, it was so funny, it was so cute and adorable. I am in love with these books. The plot-wise, I guess it should be just the continuation of adventures of our unusual family, consisting of spy. Oh, there is no dad. It's on the first cover, but anyway, spy, then spy dad, assassin, and a telepath, just trying not to blow their covers. Something like that. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. I bought the 4 books. Now this one was a very random purchase. I was just walking around the store, minding my own business, when I saw these wonderful pretty editions. Look at these. Look at these. And I just thought, why not? Like, really, why not? I thought that I didn't buy them. A couple of weeks later, I was in the same store. I saw them again and I was just, I couldn't resist any longer. Now I should mention that I've never read The Hunger Games. I completely missed it in my teen years. As for the movies, I watched the recap of the first one. Although I think I might have watched the first one, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure here. I also remember being taken along for the third or the fourth one in the movie theater with my friend, and that's it. That's all I know about the Hunger Games universe. And I figured I'm probably missing the massive cultural moment, the entire generational phenomena. So why not basically see what it's all about? And to be honest, I am 100% sure that if I had picked it up when I was 15, I'd roll my eyes and told everyone it's bad literature, because I was that kind of girl at 15. But now there's at least a chance that I would enjoy those books, actually. Babel by Kuang. Actually, I've already read the book and I've already praised it in my several past videos. So if you are interested, go check it out. I would just say here that I'd wanted to read it for a long time. It kept popping up everywhere for me, and it looked like something I would enjoy. And it turned out that it is something I would enjoy. It's a complex story about the boy from China who's taken up in the childhood by some British guy to study languages. He ends up at Oxford, where his knowledge of languages allows him to literally perform magic through translations. But no matter how you look at it, he is still an outsider in this country, just like a lot of other his classmates. And meanwhile, their own home countries are not thriving. So this is a story about how they deal with this and where it all might lead. The Convenience Store by the Sea by Sonoko Machida. Sorry if I pronounce it incorrectly. Another book I've read, though I don't think I've talked about it anywhere else yet, because I just finished it quite recently. I grabbed this one from a tiny book stand at the Luxembourg airport before our short trip to Amsterdam, even though I already had the book with me. As usual, I needed another one. At the time, I just finished Abroad in Japan, which I loved very much. So I saw this book and I was like, oh, Japan, let's take it. Plus, it's also promised the local store setting, and cozy stories of people connected to this store and all these comforting stuff, so I just couldn't resist. Next goes The Summer Hikaru Died, the 3rd volume. And this one I actually bought in Amsterdam, because that is a tradition. Go somewhere, you buy a book. And the whole experience was a little bit awkward, because I hadn't been in a really huge bookstore for a while, especially one where almost all the books are in a language I can actually read, because back here in Luxembourg the English books sections in the shops are usually small and pretty limited, but there, wow, it was stunning, and I got so overwhelmed, so I bought only this, the continuation of the story about this strange creature living in the body of a dead boy. Yes. Speaking of other languages, I also got a few books in Russian, so I will show them right now. I will try to go through them very quickly because they haven't been translated into English, unfortunately, but I'm still very excited to have them. First goes the collection of stories about the residents of a boarding house in Moscow. I don't know much about it, but it sounds like something quirky and atmospheric, so I bought it. Next goes another story collection, but this time scary stories, and you can tell it from the cover. So black, so scary. And as far as I know, as far as I understand, it's based on some teenage, childhood, urban legends from around the time when I was growing up. So it should be very atmospheric too. And I'm saving it up for October for some specific spooky vibes. And the last one, my love. I already read this book and almost all the series, but I never had a physical copy of it because it hadn't been reprinted in ages. Just look at this. It's no, it does look not so bad, but it's not a new copy. I asked my mom to find it and bring it to me here, and I'm personally so super happy to have it. This is the combination of fantasy and sci-fi. It's more like a comedic genre, and it was seriously hilarious. I remember myself laughing out loud at this book at some points, so I'm super happy that this bundle of joy is on my shelves right now. The apothecary. I don't know how to pronounce this one, sorry. Apothecary Diaries, Volume 1 and 2. Now, this is my new obsession, or at least I hope it will be. I watched all the available anime right now, and I decided that I can't wait any longer, and I need to read the original story and bought the light novels. I'm a little bit confused though, because there are so many things around it, because I said there is an anime, there is a manga, there are those novels, but I think they came first and they're already complete. I hope so. Anyway, I just like reading letters. So this is a good option for me. Anyway, this is an amazing story about a smart and capable girl who loves mixing herbs, making medicines, and solving clever mysteries. Plus, there are secrets, danger, and romance. Very cool. Okay. Now we are on my Italy purchases. If you didn't know, and how would you? I recently went to Italy. Well, already relatively recently, but still quite recently. Usually I make a point of bringing up at least one book from every trip, as I already said. And as I said, again, usually I'm trying to find something that fits the vibe of the country, or is translated from the language of the country, or something like that, if I have time. For the New Zealand, as you understand, I did have a lot of time for this. But this time in Italy, I just chilled. I tried to chill and didn't think a lot about it, because I was an organizer of everything, everywhere. So I just didn't have a capacity and energy to search for bookstores and research authors or something like that. I was like, no, we are drinking wine and that's it. But then at the airport, again, I don't know what it's about at the airport. I went to the bookstore looking for water actually, because they didn't have any in the duty free for some reason. I don't know, that's their own fault. Or maybe it was a fate, I don't know. Anyway, they had there an amazing, quite small but still amazing, because I found my books there. Literature section, English literature section there, where I saw this book. This is André Aciman, my romanier. It's a sequel to his memoir that I loved tremendously, the first part. It was very atmospheric and honestly gripping, so I couldn't just walk past the second one. As you may see, and it fits the moment perfectly, because this time the story takes place in Italy, not in Egypt, so I'm very happy with this one. And the second book I bought there is Spatriati, I'm not sure, sorry, Spatriati, but by Mario Desiati. My Italian is very bad. This book is a translation from Italian, so basically I just picked it up based on this criteria, not even knowing what is it about. Because the moment I saw it's originally in Italian, I just grabbed it and ran out to the checkout. From what I do know, this is a coming of age story about two teenagers. I think it's a boy and a girl, but I'm not sure, how they discover themselves, their desires, their sexuality, all that. So I'm looking forward to reading it, because I love coming of age stories, usually. Alright, so The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Yes, it's huge. When I ordered this edition, I did not expect it to be so huge. Oops. Actually, I already read the book a couple of years ago. I think a lot of years ago already. I think it was in my university years. And I gave it 3 stars. So as you may understand, I was not very impressed. For some reason. When I tried to remember why I was not so impressed, what I didn't like there, all I can think of are positive memories, like mysterious academic vibes and all that. And then I read The Goldfinch a couple of years ago and I absolutely loved it. So I figured that it's time to reread this one and settle how I really feel about this book. And this time, at least, there are gonna be some evidence. My review, my video, something where I will say that, oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, I like that. But it's so huge. I can't take it with me into the public transport. How I'm gonna read it? Okay, and next I bought the Recursion and Vengeful. Oh, they're huge too. By Schwab. We'll put only one. I've never read her books previously, although I heard a lot about her and I always thought that I might like them, but for some reason I've never read the books. And then recently I started to see her a lot. She started to pop up everywhere, especially in TikTok. And when I say she, exactly the author, this wonderful woman started to appear in my For You page. Look at her, how she speaks, like, I want to read your books. Stop it. And then yes, I ordered those books. So then I decided to buy Wishes, the story about 2 friends who becomes enemies, and this story full of betrayal, revenge, and superpowers, and all of that sounds like exactly something I would enjoy, because I love friendships and broken friendships too. But you're probably wondering, you showed us 2 books What about the second one? What is it? What is it? This is a sequel, and usually I do not buy this series altogether, the sequels, everything, because who knows if I enjoy the first book or not. But this time I saw this small note saying something like, only 3 books left, hurry, and I panicked. And I bought it because I was super scared that I couldn't find it in the same machine edition, even though probably I will. It's just like for now there are only 3 copies, and then I will order more and everything will be alright. But I panicked and grabbed both of them. Typical. Next book is I'm Not Jessica Chen by Liang. This is a new release, at least like this year release, and I stumbled upon it the previous December when I was searching, when I was browsing the new releases, like upcoming releases section, searching for the books I might enjoy this year, and it grabbed my attention for some reason, I don't know. This is about a girl who's jealous of her cousin or a neighbor or like someone like that. I'm not sure, I don't remember. And basically that girl, she's smart, she's maybe pretty, she's successful, she goes to the prestigious university, and then one day she wakes up, maybe not wakes up, maybe something happens another way, but figuratively speaking, she wakes up in this girl's body, and the world looks like her original version never existed even. So she starts to live the life of this cousin and started to realize that maybe it's not so perfect after all. Don't Let the Forest In by C.J. Drews. I put this book into my TBR a while ago actually, and then it started to appear again in TikToks for me, so I couldn't resist any longer and bought it. So TikTok works perfectly. My wallet is not happy about that. It's a fantasy horror about with a queer plotline about 2 friends who study at school and do their usual business, and then they got involved into a mystery business. One of them, as far as I'm understood, one of them draws some creepy pictures, and one day they came to life, and those 2 boys have to fight those monsters while navigating their relationships. But these monsters are only becoming stronger and stronger. As I said, it's a horror. I really hope it's a horror. It looks like horror. Look at this. So maybe I will left it for the Halloween time too. The City and the City by China. Miéville. Oh, this one's been in my TBR for ages, and I even have a physical copy. Another one, just not here, it's in Russia and it is in Russian. And I honestly do not even remember the plot anymore. At this point, I just suddenly wanted to read something that blends sci-fi and urban fantasy vibes and topics and all of that. And I remembered this book. As far as I know, this is about the inspector who investigates the murderer, which seems very simple at the beginning, but apparently it's not, and it leads to very terrifying discoveries, and everything in the setting of this fantasy sci-fi world that author created. Yes, I really want to grab it soon. Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. To be honest, I just remember that I wanted to read. This is the author who wrote Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which I wanted to read a long time ago, and I completely forgot about this. So if I like it, I might read that book finally too. But I already ordered it, and it is much smaller than that big. And I just noticed that I have this awful sticker, that unremovable awful sticker. That's a crime, that's a literal crime. This is a fantasy plus mythology set in a bizarre house with endless rooms, something like that. And there is a guy who explores this place to unravel some mysteries of universe, but slowly realizes that things aren't what they seem and he's not alone in there. Recursion by Black Roach. And this one is pure sci-fi. The book is about an epidemic of false memories. People start to remember in lives they never lived. And here we follow the cop and a memory scientist who tries to investigate all these unusual occurrences. And as it usually happens in the books, otherwise there wouldn't be any book about the story, they unravel something much more terrifying than it first appears. No, there is no place for it. Right, I'll put it here. And that's it. Yay! We did it! Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, bye!